Okay, so I'm just going to talk about the worksheet for today and the questions we were asked. The first thing we're going to do is talk about the examples and the key elements of the Elizabethan and Jacobean world order in the red scenes. The Elizabethan era is when England was divided into a very hierarchical structure, which means that there's a hierarchy in the society, and we see this in the dialogue on page 163, but we also see this throughout the whole play, just by the fact that they have a king, you have the monarch, we have farmers, we have rich men, and we have God, of course, above all. So this whole society is placed is in a hierarchy where people are of different value. And the Jacobean world order is when they took a step back to the Middle Ages, where the king is given this divine right. And we had a lot of problems finding this in the text, but we did find some examples where he says, "I love you, your majesty," and "Ay, my good lord." So they put the king on a very high pedestal, because he is just under God, and he is the king, and he rules the country, and so on and so forth. So how is the importance of the world order conveyed into the play? We see examples of the world order, this hierarchy, in the title of the people, like the king, princes, princesses, bastards. This all give a person a different value. It also depends on their family, on whether or not they have money, and the whole what you say, like the whole relationship to authority is you have to respect the authority, otherwise you will be banished. An example here where King Lear banishes his own daughter Cordelia when he says, "And as a stranger to my heart and me," because now she's a stranger because he just banished her. Now the fool. What does the fool think about Lear's way of treating his daughters? Well, the fool, he disagrees a lot with King Lear. He doesn't think it's a good idea at all. He thinks that he's being evil. He thinks that that it's just not right to do so, and he doesn't like the daughters, the two eldest daughters, Gonril and Regan, that he has given the country to. So the fool very disagrees a lot with him, um, and he also calls the daughters he's really rude over like to the daughters and to King Lear, which we can see in his arguments where he is extremely rude and very, you can say, sassy, but really rude. He says, for example, "Truth's a dog that must to kennel. He must be whipped out when Lady Branch may stay by the fire and stink." And Lady Branch, well, we can translate to Lady Bitch. Um, so he accuses the daughters of lying to him, and by doing that, he's also calling him a fool. And then how can he do this to the king without being punished? And that's because the fool is kind of the king's advocate. He's very loyal and honest, and by being that, he's also able to point out the king's flaws, as no one else can, because he is the fool and he's supposed to be funny, and yeah. And then authority, and we have to comment on the dialogue. And then we also have an example of authority here shown in the dialogue, where Oswald says, "My lady's father," and then Lear says, "My lady's father, my lord's knave, your whoreson dog, you slave, you cur," where we really see King Lear degrading Oswald, because Lear is the king and Lear can do what he wants because he has the title that he has. And then humor, where we have to find examples of humorous elements. Here we have a question being asked by Lear to the fool, where Lear says, "Dost thou call me fool, boy?" And the fool answers, "All thy other titles thou hast given away that thou wast born with." Where the fool really calls Lear the fool, and the fool also offers him his crown. The fool is really making a joke out of King Lear. And why he uses humor is because it's easy to convey to an audience. Like, first of all, it's theater. like it's entertainment. People come to be entertained, but also if you have a political opinion about something, which Shakespeare clearly has, then humor is an easy way to convey it, an easy way to get people to agree with you. We also see this in today's society, that politicians who are funny gets more attention than politicians who are boring or old. So humor really has a huge effect on how people portray your views and how people react to them. And then, yeah, and that's the reasons for why he uses humor.